we are glad you're back as our coverage of National Signing Day continues on the Razorback Sports Network, SEC Network Plus, and we'll remind you again, Dominique Reed, if you're just joining us, his letter of intent signed, sealed, and delivered arrived just a little bit ago. You saw some of the highlights. We'll talk some more about that as we move through the remainder of the show. Right now, we're going to welcome our running backs coach, Joel Thomas, to the set, and one of the great recruiters on this staff. And you know, one thing about this staff, Coach, they love recruiting, and you've got to love recruiting to do well in it,
without a doubt, especially in this conference. It's the best in America, and we got the resources to do it, so we love getting on the road and showing what Arkansas is all about.
Well, one of the places the Razorbacks always do well is in the state of Texas. Arkansas went down to Dallas and plucked Rawleigh Williams. He's a running back, and Quinn Grovey had a chance to visit with him a little earlier today.
Joining us now is Razorback signee running back Rawleigh Williams from Bishop Lynch High in Dallas, Texas. Rawleigh, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
So for a very talented running back like yourself in the football hotbed of Dallas, are you glad the recruiting process is over and that you finally know where you're going to be spending the next 4 years of your life?
I am glad, man. It's a blessing to be, getting offered by Arkansas in the first place and getting a chance to come play here with Coach B and Coach Thomas and all the other staff. I'm ready to get to work and be a running back and, make plays. Absolutely.
Now, Coach Joel Thomas was your lead recruiter, and talk about the recruiting process and why you decided to come to Arkansas.
A big reason was Coach Thomas. He's recruited me since I think sophomore year, and I had a tough junior year, and he stayed on me, and he just showed that he had faith in me. And they offered before I had a big senior year, so their faith in me meant a lot to me.
Well, I got to tell you, when I turned on the film and started watching you, some people jump off the screen, and the first thing I saw was, first word that came to my mouth was explosive, and I saw you make long run after long run. Talk about your running style and some of the strengths of your game.
I'm a balance back in my eyes. I like to get downhill. I like to be one cut and go. I like to make people miss, but I also like to run people over. So I think just because of hard work, I can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And so as you know, Jonathan Williams and Alex Collins both had over 1,000 yards. So when you look at the style of offense and you look at the huge athletic linemen that we have blocking for you, a huge smile has got to come across your face.
Definitely. This biggest line in all of football. So to get them behind those guys is just an honor by itself. So, and Jonathan, he's a good friend of mine. We've been close since this recruiting process started for me. And, he said nothing but great things about his teammates and about that line. So I'm ready to work with him and Alex Collins as well.
Well, that's great, man. Well, I tell you, I'm glad you are on the team. I always say it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Johnnies and the Joes. And you
Right.
are definitely a Johnny and a Joe. And I look forward to calling your games over the next 4 years. And thanks for joining us, and welcome to the Razorback family.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Rawleigh.
Well, there you have it. Rawleigh Williams, the third out of Dallas, and that's a combination of size and speed right there, Coach.
Yes. Rawleigh, it's been a 2-year process with him, and obviously there's some things that we identified him as an early offer guy, and he really showed it all this last season, his senior season. He took it to heart that he wanted to be one of the best in the area, and he showed up being the leading rusher in the state. He's a 5'10", 5'10 and a half. I'll go with the half there. He's frozen up a little bit. 205, and he's got the frame to get a little bigger. But I love the way that he burrows, and he's patient, and he can squirt through a hole pretty easily, catches the ball very well, and I think is a good wrinkle to the group that we have right now within our unit.
Quinn, the first thing you said was, this guy can go. He can play. What do you think of him?
Absolutely. When you're looking at film, you look for people to jump off the screen. And when I'm watching game film, he popped immediately. The way you cut on the film, he immediately takes the football, one-cut runner like he talked about. He really loves to get to the house. And very rarely did I see him get caught from behind. He made tough runs in between the tackles. He can run inside, outside, catches the football well. And when you've got an explosive guy like that, boy, it's just great to continue to add to your running back repertoire. And he's a guy that can really come in and add some value.
All the great backs have that last gear where they just run away from the defense at the end, and we saw that on the tape.
Yes, we did, and we're going to develop it a little bit with Coach Herbert once he gets here as well.
All right, we're going to stay in the Lone Star State. In fact, the Metroplex, Carrollton, Texas. We're going to talk now about offensive lineman Zach Rogers, young man who's already here, 6'1", 318, and Coach, he's impressive.
He is. Zach's a very physical would be the understatement. You know, he likes to get nasty, get after it, enjoys playing in the trenches. Once he gets his hands on you and he gets fit inside that framework of your body, you're not going to get off of him.
Quinn, when you watch him there, what do you see on tape? What jumps out at you?
I mean, the theme just continues when you talk about the offensive linemen. I mean, the ability that when they get their hands on you to be able to drive you 6 and 7 yards into the secondary and then finish it with a pancake. I mean, it shows that these guys have great athletic ability, they have great footwork, great hands, and they just have the ability to make a lot of plays. And I think that Zach is another guy that's going to continue to be a great Razorback.
Coach, I'm just thinking about out on the recruiting trail. You go to an offensive lineman and say, hey, I've got a guy like Rawleigh Williams. You go to a Rawleigh Williams, you say, I think I got a guy like Zach Rogers. That's a pretty good combination.
Well, we combined the RBU tag and the pit crew together very well with myself and Coach Pittman. We feed off each other very well with the O-line, the running back recruits that we've had and that we're targeting here for this next class as well. It's a pretty easy sale.
You know, you bring up a good point in that coaching staffs have to work as teams during the recruiting process. There's got to be cohesion, doesn't there?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You can't have egos when you're out there recruiting as far as your team. You want to get what's best to make the Arkansas Razorbacks SEC champions, national championships, things like that. And, sometimes we have to all take a deep breath and make sure we're on the same page for a particular recruit or signee.
Well, we appreciate you being here. This is an exciting day.
Well,
thank you, Coach.
No, we're happy, and go Hogs.
All right. When we come back, we've seen Zach Rogers on film. You're going to see him on the set, so stay with us. Our coverage continues in just a moment on the Razorback Sports Network and SEC Network Plus.